Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and it's the Genestealer cults that have drawn my ire this time. So, the Genestealers are an interesting faction, and they are one that I think you can have a lot of fun with, modelling and painting, and that is something I like doing. So let's talk about what I would change if I was doing a range refresh with them, and I think one of the first things that we should do is talk about the combat patrol. This combat patrol stinks. It stinks. It's bad. The main thing that you want for your Genestealers is Genestealer cultists. I don't need all of these vehicles in an expensive box. I mean, yes, it's nice to have a discounted set, but the value here just is nowhere close to what it was. And I simply roll this back into the prior combat patrol and we would be golden. So Genestealers have a lot of characters, and these characters are all pretty cool. You know, they've got some fantastic sculpts, but the problem is they're all a bit samey. They're all a bit kind of monopose, I suppose is the correct term to use. You know, they are just, this is your biophagus, and it's very difficult for you to kind of make it your own. And I think as a whole, a lot of the characters just need opening up, making them so they can be more unique. It's because you're never going to have a named character. And that's not entirely true. There's nothing saying you can't have a named Genestealer character. You know, you could have this Sanctus, named Sanctus, who appears to, you know, help cults that are fledgling and, you know, really help them kick off their revolution, and he always manages to escape. The Inquisition's got a huge bounty out on him. He's been seen in 36 sectors. They're desperate to try and catch him. You know, there's no reason you can't have a named character in a Genestealer cult's army. So one of the things I'd change is actually the Genestealers themselves. And that is because I don't think pure strain Genestealers like this should be in the Genestealer cult's army. This is a Tyranid unit. I think that your pure strain Genestealers need to be rarer. They need to be a more dangerous unit, and they need to be like a 3-man unit sort of thing, and just make them slightly bigger. Not quite as big as the you know, the Patriarch or whatever he is, Broodlord I think they call him nowadays. Is he even on this? Oh, I guess because they don't. They only sell them like this now. Okay, yeah, so maybe not as big as this, somewhere between this and a regular sized one, but making them just bigger and more dangerous. Units of 3. Hybrid metamorphs and the hybrids, the later ones, I love these. I think they're great, and I just think this set needs expanding. It needs like more options. It just needs more of them, and you know, it just needs, as a set, needs more options. It needs to be twice the size. The Neophyte hybrids, I think, is one of the best kits GW does. I think it's full of bits. I think it's really cool. I love the style. This guy looks fantastic. Helmeted heads would be nice, so, you know, we can see how they kind of can hide in Imperial society a bit more. The vehicles, the Goliath truck and the Achilles Ridge Runner, I think are fantastic. I want more of them. I want more vehicles. I want more ramshackle stuff. I want more converted Imperial equipment. You know, give them access to that Forge World, I think it is, one that militia units can get. I can't remember what it's called. The Goliath. No, it's not Goliath. Something heavy. The Heavy 8. Heavy Cargo 8. I just think that, you know, stuff like this, ramshackle fast attack units, are really cool. The Aberrants I really like. I like the Aberrants as a concept. I want more Aberrants. And one I would like in particular, and it's a pity that they've reused the name, is the Screamer Killer. Now, the old second edition Screamer Killer, with its 4 claws, has a very flat face that is very similar to a Genestealer's face in the way that it is kind of shaped, and very similar to some of these. And I think it would have been cool if you'd got like some sort of Screamer Killer that was like a hulking aberrant. It's massive, but it's malformed, and it's drooling, and it's just some horrible mutation. It's just a failed one. It hasn't, think like giant retard baby kind of thing. I don't know, it's not PC to say that, but this thing should be led out by guys with chains, a couple of neophytes dragging it forward, and it's just some horrible, angry, violent mistake. And I think that would be great, because it would fit into the nice sort of big, heavy slot that is missing. Like this, but bigger, like much bigger. We are talking like on a Leviathan Dreadnought sized base sort of thing. It's almost like you can split the army into 2 sides. You've got the kind of neophyte who can pass as human side, and the aberrant side of the army list, which is quite clearly Genestealer mutants, and that's fine. So maybe something like an Abominant Prime, where it's actually a bit smarter. That would be really cool. Leading, the horrible masses from down below, whereas these guys are more like your local terrorist cell kind of thing. I like the jackals. I know I didn't say I didn't like the jackals on the World Eaters, but I do like the jackals here. I just wish helmeted heads, and I'm not a big fan of the ATV. I guess I just don't like ATVs at all. Love the design of the weapons and the axes. Love the bikes. Yeah, I think these guys look fantastic. And the sniper as well. I think one of the big things is give them something big and nasty. A nice centerpiece model would work. And I think maybe throwing in some more stuff where it is clearly captured, gear. With the Kill Team Brood Brothers, which is another, really good kill team, we almost kind of want a third army list, which is like Traitor PDF, which is, Imperial Guard Light. And we used to have it. We used to have upgrade sets for the Cadians, and I think they even had like the Lehman Russ and stuff in this list. Just, I think more vehicles, more stuff, more things that are quite clearly repurposed industrial weapons. It's difficult because they are a bit of a niche faction setting wise, unfortunately. So I think some bigger Genestealers, something that's not quite the size of a Broodlord, way more metamorphs and like hybrids, and then something big and horrible that's like bigger than an abominant. I can't even speak today. So it's a bit of a boring one. It's not as in depth as all the others, because I think a lot of it is just kind of vague ideas for stuff. The limo. They desperately need the limo back. I don't know what you would do it for. I cannot picture any reason or any sort of role it fits on the battlefield beyond being like what is effectively just a transport. But the Genestealers limo from like Rogue Trader 1000% needs to come back as well. So let me know what you think. If you guys are a Genestealer collector, what do you feel's missing? Would you like some more, giant mutant kind of guys, or are you more invested in the kind of neophyte side of things? Let's have a conversation. Pop it down in the comments and let me know. As always, my name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. and I want you to prove me wrong. Let me know what's going on. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye bye.